to get on tonight. My name is Verdita Muck, and I hail out of the Atlanta, Georgia area. My husband and I, Harvey, are very, very intentional about building this business for several reasons. Number one, you know, we consider this opportunity probably the most phenomenal thing we have seen in our lifetime because of what it's doing for people, because of the ability to witness, excuse me, miracles almost every single day, whether in person or through another partner who shares it with us. That really propels us to continue striving for higher and higher goals, whether that goal be to spread the word as fast as possible, or whatever that goal may be. Secondly, we are in a point in our lives where we really could retire if it was based on our age. But, you know, because we're self-employed, a few years ago, we realized that we were not prepared to retire financially. When this opportunity came along, we realized this is it. This is what we were looking for, that allowed us not only the residual income that we needed to sustain our lifestyle and to exceed our lifestyle, but also to allow us to, you know, experience a lifestyle. You know, when you are working, you know, especially all through your 60s and 70s, and some people are in that age bracket that they might have some type of Social Security or some type of financial support somewhere, but it may not necessarily be the same lifestyle they have been used to. I know people on this call, we've had a call before where they talked about they, you know, were retired 6 figures in type of income. My sister in particular had experienced a 6-figure income as an aerospace engineer with a mechanical engineering degree. All those 30-something years she worked for the FAA, and all the savings that she had put away did not sustain her lifestyle. And I mean, I guess everybody's lifestyle is different, but just so that you know, what we have here in our hands will sustain your lifestyle if you work it. And that's what we're talking about tonight. In every other Wednesday night, is how we can accelerate our business so that we can max out this comp plan. So I'm going to share a few slides with you really quickly, and then we're going to get into you know, some things that you're going to be excited to hear about. Okay, so once again, for those, the basic concept of this call is called the Power of 6, and it's a simple, duplicatable system of enrolling 6 partners in order to maximize the binary plan and the matching bonuses. You might get a chance to see the Power of 6 if we have enough time. We show this periodically, but those who've been on for a while, they've seen it, they know it. If I have time, I will share it with you tonight. But tonight we're going to be talking about March Madness. You guys, March Madness is upon us. It literally starts in the middle of March, but you know, we're starting the beginning of March, which is this Saturday. We're not waiting until the middle of March. But let me tell you what March Madness, see what happened. I'm not sure what I just did. I just hit something, so I gotta get back up. Now, I don't know, but anyway, let me move forward. March Madness, you guys, was a concept. It was something that came established years ago. But what is March Madness? Really, it refers to the NCAA Division I men's and women's basketball championship tournaments that are held annually from mid-March to early April. And it is a phenomenon that grips the national sports psyche with many exciting teams and bracket-busting upsets. Many of you all are looking forward to it, including myself. You know, my husband is a sports fanatic. He and his 5 brothers played every kind of sport you can name. So I'm living in a household with a sports fanatic. I can't help but, you know, experience all these games. And so you might be the same way. But what we want to when we're talking about March Madness with regard to this call and our team is something else. We're talking about just going all out for the month of March, doing things that, you know, just adding a little bit more than what you are, well, really a lot more energy and effort into what you did last month and any previous month. You know, I worked alongside some people these past few weeks who had some goals that I, helped. It was really exciting and energetic, and it was like they wanted to reach these goals, and I wanted to reach them to reach it as well. So, but that we're gonna step it up in March, you guys. But what I want to do before we get into identifying some things that you can do to accelerate your business in the month of March, I want to introduce you to one of our senior directors out of the Charlotte area. His name is Bishop Larry Jackson, and I got the pleasure of meeting this gentleman last year. I think it was around, I don't know, March or something like that, when we first met. And he is doing some phenomenal things. What I like about Bishop Jackson, and he will tell you a little bit more as we go along, he does not make excuses. And if you knew, and he'll tell you, I'm going to ask him a few questions to get this started, but he will tell you the kind of schedule he has, the kind of responsibilities he has, and it will make your head spin. Okay. So Bishop Jackson, thank you so much for joining us on the call today. And I just want to ask you a couple of questions. Can you, first of all, tell this audience, because some of them know you and you've been on this call before, but you have such a, what do I want to say? You're such a studious person. This is what I've observed you, but everybody else, please turn, if you're not speaking, please turn your videos off. Thank you. We don't no distractions here. You are such a you're a studious person, and it seems like every subject we talk about, you already know, you've done the studying, and you have such a large, like I said, a big responsibility. Tell these people what your life looks like from a career standpoint. Maybe give a little bit about your background, because that background, I think, helped me to understand why you think the way you think.
Okay. Thank you, Vidita. It's good to be with you guys tonight. Again, always good to be with you guys. We're on our way. We're on our way to being the number one team in the number one team. That's what we that's what we're about to do.
Claim it.
That's right. That's right. So one of the things that we talked about when we first met is that I have I'm an engineer as well, but from an electronic perspective. I taught college. I worked for IBM years ago when a computer like you have on your desk was a room full of computers. And so I learned to think from a technical standpoint and also to analyze. So so then I went from there to being a professor, teaching college students on how to do computer technology. When the Mac came out, we actually, as technicians and engineers, we didn't like the Mac because we thought it was a toy. Actually, we said, who would need this toy in their home? And now look at where Mac is today. Look at where Apple came to, because we were more IBM kind of people, and so we were thinking machine language and all those kinds of things. And so that some of that don't mean nothing to you, but that's the kind of thought pattern we had to have. And so we had to think from that, from putting things together, logical, from a technical perspective. Okay. And so that's pretty much my background. Then was called by God into ministry. And that has been a tremendous ride. And just to give you the thumbnail, I did not take the title bishop. I'm not self-appointed a bishop. I've been ordained over leaders. Several of those leaders are on this particular call tonight. I'm over right now. There are like 11 churches that we oversee. And so there are 11 leaders that look to me. So that's what the whole bishopric has to do with. It really has to do with a leader training leaders. Okay. And you can have a local assembly or church that you serve as well, which I do in Charlotte, North Carolina. But the main thing is I oversee leaders. And so it's my job to help leaders, men and women, get to the place that they need to be. And so my job is to serve. So that's my primary job, is to serve those leaders to make sure that the visions that they have in their heart will come to pass. And so that's um, what I do. I have I have written right now, as of this month, I think I've written 19 books. It's 19 books. And so we've authored that many books, and we've got a couple of more in the hopper. And so we're always doing something. So it's really, really involved. When I saw this opportunity, I wasn't looking for something else to do. Okay. I've also been a national platform speaker nationally and internationally. So I've spoken on a stage called Promise Keepers for over 20 years. That's filling stadiums up with men, 40, 50,000 men, that I've stood, we did the totals recently. I think I've stood in front of over a 500,000 men.
Hmm.
And that's amazing. And that haven't stopped. Matter of fact, coming up, we'll talk about that in a few. Coming up in the next week or so, I'll be standing in front of about 500 more men there in South Carolina. So we've been focused in those kinds of ways and done things with women, men, the whole killer and caboodle. It is really interesting. People ask me, how do I do all that I do? One of the things I make sure of is that I get out of the bed. I really do want you to hear that. That's not just to go to work, but I get out of bed early enough to do something for me, not just something for someone else. So that I can move along the things I need to move along. So, Vidita, that's a thumbnail. That's a really good thumbnail because
Yes.
when they be reading my bio in places, I tell them stop reading that thing. That's too much stuff.
Yes. Well, Bishop, one thing I appreciate by just hearing what you just said, I heard you keep using the word we a lot. And I see you, as you build your LifeWay business, you are really working alongside people, you're reaching down and helping people in so many ways. And so what I want you to share tonight, basically what I want to share to you with you to share tonight is that, you sent me a synopsis of what you plan to do, maybe
Yeah.
not just for March Madness, but maybe just, all the way through our convention in August. Can you kind of give an idea of kind of the vision you have for your team and some of the things that you're planning to do?
Yes. Well, I'm trying to capitalize on everything that I'm doing and we're doing together as a team. I'm just trying to capitalize on that. And so I am reaching down as far as I can into my teams to make sure of that. Even Steve said it on Saturday. Who is moving? Who's trying to get something done, and give them my time and attention. The other thing is I have to make sure that I am always available to these people. And now because people will say to me, well, I know you're busy. I don't want to call you. Well, if you don't call me, and you're going to hurt yourself because I'm going to work with you to get you to where you need to be. And the thing is, my whole mindset about this is okay. As I've said many times, there is a big vision. There's a big why, and so that big why means you have to do a lot of work. You got to put your hands to the plow. So we we want to have 10,000. We want to have 10,000 people in our downline, and we're not there yet, but we want 10,000. So I connected to the vision that Steve and Gina Merritt has. Steve and Gina Merritt has a vision of 1 million. Okay. So I said, I want 10,000 of that at least. Okay. Now, that's just my start. That's not my end. That's just my start. That'll help me catch up with Vidita. So, but that's just my start. But I want to make sure that it was out far enough that I have to do some work for it, but not so far that I can't attain to it. Okay. And so we know we can get there. We know we can get there based on all the things that are coming, the new comp plan and all of that. That's going to help us in retention and all of that. So I know we can make it. So we're looking down in that. Then I am bringing along my team in a way that I'm having individual meetings with my team, making sure that they know where they are and I know where they are. I literally went into the back office. Now I didn't even send you this, Vidita. I literally went into the back office and did the organizational chart for all of the people that I felt like were moving. And I did their entire organizational chart in the V shape that Steve does. So you know how Steve does the two outside legs. I did that for all of my people so I did it for about 20 people. I went in the back office myself, put together the thing because I had put one together for myself. And so when I looked at mine, I went, wow, they need to see this way too. And by sending it to them so that they could see it, it helped them to go, okay, I see what's happening on my right side and on my left side because I know people don't stay in the back office in the way that they should. And if you don't stay in the back office the way you should, you don't know what's actually happening in your organization. And so
Mhm.
you've got to know. So that helped me as well because in my in my organizational chart, I can look at, okay, I know who's doing what and how they're doing it so that now I know where to put my efforts. I know where to put my efforts. This coming week, I've got, he's out here. I've got an apostle that's doing very well in the Florida area, and he just started, but he got about 6 people, and so I'm meeting just with his people. So you gotta think that way because I see him moving. So I'm just meeting with his people, nobody else, so that we can get them moving even faster along. So you got to think that way. When you think that way, and then you got to realize, okay, how can I put what's the dollar amount I want to put on this and all of that? What do you want to be making? And let me say this to you so you really can get this. You must write your goals. So I sent that to Vidit. You must write your goals. You cannot keep them in your head. It is clear that people who write their goals accomplish. Matter of fact, Dominion University in California, their study showed that 42% more people achieve their goals when they write them down. 42% more people achieve what they want to achieve when they write them down. Okay. And so you got to write down the goals. You can't just keep them in your head. You must write them down. So those are just a couple of things. So, I am a speaker. And this is somewhat an unfair advantage to a lot of people. But now because I speak and because I'm in front of these audiences, now I can say, okay, I have something that I think can help you. You saw my banner at my table. I'm going to have a meeting right after this meeting to tell you about what that's about. And if you're having any issues in your life, pain in your body and pain in your pocketbook, you need to come to my meeting. And so 20 minutes is more than enough time for me to do that after that meeting to move that along. Now, what that does, ladies and gentlemen, that does not only do that for me. I want you to think that it's not only going to do that for me, but I'm going to gather people that I can now help other people in the downline that's moving can now share in that. And is that helping, Vidita? Is this
Yes,
making
you're saying that you're not just trying to personally enroll all these people, you're bringing some other people along. I know you said you're taking people with you or whatever,
Yes,
and with their support because you can't talk to each individual by yourself, but you do
no,
have their support system with you.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
And
So
so, and you
go ahead.
also, I'm just trying to remember because I didn't print it out, but the email you sent me, you also identified how many promotions you expected to have.
Oh yeah, you see, and this was good because I said to I sent her and I said, okay, I want to be presidential director by the time we get to the August convention. And she said, no, you need to be SPD by the time you get to the August convention because of your influence and all that. And I said, and I had to rethink it. I said, yeah. So I went back in and said, okay, presidential is not what I'm saying. I'm saying SPD
Yeah,
because
but you know what, not to interrupt you, but this is, you're breaking it down, but this what how I'm just saying this for the benefit of the people on the call. With the kind of reach that you have and the people that are already in motion, if you
yeah,
had 10 different legs well, not of, no, not 10 different legs of senior directors, because that's only 100,000. But most people, here it is, what, February, might as well say March,
yeah,
April, May, June, July.
right.
Okay, March, April, May, June. If 4 months is enough for anybody to reach, if they implement the concept of accelerating their business and doing their launch calls and all this, they could easily be senior directors, but some people will be executive directors. But you've got leaders not just in this business, but in your churches. You got,
Yeah,
you see so you did say you have an unfair advantage. Harvey and I hit the senior president or director in 10 months, but we really were very strategic about it and identified some people who really, really wanted it. So I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but I'm trying to remember, it was something else, because look at your list, because it was something else you said. You're doing it. You say, let me just say this about Bishop Jackson. He's not being as specific as he could be. He's doing calls, regular calls, training calls. And I'm
yeah,
talking about you. I know his team feels good when he finishes with his calls, because he goes deep, and helps you realize this is a business. So see,
yes.
some of us don't treat this as a business. That's something you like to talk about, Bishop.
Yeah, yeah, we treated it. Many people take this as a side hustle. This is just something that they've added in. So, Ken was in Charlotte a week or so ago, and I went over, and it wasn't not even our team that he was coming in for, but I wanted, if he was in town, I'm gonna go see him. And so I went over there, and he naturally called me up there. But the deal is, what I told them at that meeting is, this cannot be a side hustle. It can, if you don't take something out of your life to put this in, most likely you're going to struggle with it and you probably will fail. Okay? Because you did not take anything out. There, listen, all the stuff I'm telling you I'm doing, let me tell you something. My golf clubs think I have disowned them. Okay? And the reason why my golf clubs think that I've disowned them, because I haven't played golf in a couple of years. The reason why I couldn't play golf in a couple of years is because there were some things that I had to put in my life, and golf had to go out of my life. So I could not take 4 hours and spend on a golf course when I needed those 4 hours doing something else. So when I looked at my life and said, okay, what has to go? Well, golf, you're gonna have to go for a while, And then when I pass by my clubs, they be clinging in and stuff and say, when you gonna hit? When you gonna take us out? And all that. But I can't take the clubs out. So I also, Vidita knows this because she's called me many times when I've been in the early mornings. So one of the other things I do is that I trade in the marketplace. So I'm trade. So I've trained people how to do some of that stuff as well. So I'm trading, and so when I first got into LifeWave, you know what I did? I stopped trading. You say, what? I stopped trading because I knew that if I didn't stop trading, I would be divided. My attention would be divided. I needed to put all of my attention, because I decided to do this, right here. And so then we became manager, we became director, da da da, because why? I had to put that aside. Now, everybody's not willing to do that. And if you're not willing to do that, you got to check out to see what are you going to do? How are you going to get this done? And that's your goal setting. What are you going to do? You got to take something out to put something in. I promise you. The other thing you got to look at is your budget. You got to make sure that your budget fits this opportunity. And you got to take some things out of your life. You can't be getting lattes and mocha chocolates and all of that kind of stuff, paying $3 and $4 for a cup of
5 and 6.
coffee when you can make it at home. You got to
Right.
keep that money, because look, I gotta make sure I get my patches. If that
That's
is
right.
you, see, that may not be you. Some of you may not have that problem, but if you do, you got to make an adjustment on your budget. Change your time, change your money. Win.
Yes. And so Bishop, I'm gonna, you just hang tight, because I'm gonna be talking about some more things. But one thing also, I did notice you you know, you incorporated different cities where you
Yes.
had team members, so that when you could be very intentional when you go to a city, you're going to make sure you block some time out. I mean, you're going to so many places. I mean, and
Yeah.
y'all, if you ever comes to your city, you need to go hear Bishop Jackson.
Yeah.
Not only can he preach, he can sing too. So,
Uh,
you know, you got to
you don't
make sure
supposed to tell everything. You don't supposed to tell everything you know now. You don't supposed to tell
yeah, that
everything.
man could sing and everything. So he's is like going to a university when
Oh,
you hear
that's
him preach,
funny.
literally.
That's
And
funny.
so I love that. But so anyway, Bishop, thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
We
Thank
got
you
a little
for
bit
having
more
me.
information. I may call you on you a little bit
No
later.
problem. I hope it helped. I really do.
It absolutely did. Let me get back to my March Madness PowerPoint. And as Bishop Larry Jackson, you guys out of Charlotte, North Carolina, we have been blessed to have him on our team. But you know, let me just review a little bit some of the things that Bishop Jackson talked about and what I suggest. You know, if you want to participate in March Madness and execute your own campaign, the first thing you want to do is identify your leaders. Okay, you know, everybody may not be, when I say future leaders, everybody on your team does not have the desire. You know, everybody don't want to be a doctor. Everybody don't want to be a hairstylist. Everybody don't want to be a carpenter. Everybody don't want to be an interior designer. Everybody don't want to be a pastor. But everybody doesn't want to be a leader either. You got to decide who and wait, how do you find out? You make a phone call. Hey, how's it going? I know you've been plugged in and I see you on, you know, plugging in the calls, and I just want to make sure because I know that you know, when you first got started, you know, you said you really did not want to you know, another word for building a team could be just somebody that wants to expand the vision. You know, don't you see how this is helping you and your family? Is that something that you want to go ahead and share with some other people? Some people some of those conversations may say, listen, I really want this. I really want to blow this up. I see where this is going. So you have to identify your future leaders and define and find out what their goals and what their visions are. Because whatever their goals are, then that can become your goals to help them reach their goals. So like if somebody says, you know, I really want to go ahead and hit manager this month. That's just 4 people. You can literally hit manager in one night. I had that happen 2 weeks ago. A person hit manager in one night. You know, it didn't happen exactly that night, but the people that were on that call within 2 or 3 days had signed up. Now that person became manager. And so then you want to set your goals. So some of the goals I'm going to talk about in a moment, but you do have to set goals. Bishop said, set your goals, but here, write them down. You know, this is what I really want to ask you all to do. The bishop did. He's the only one so far that has done that. And that was, I asked everybody to email me what you had discussed. Some people I've already talked to about their goals and what they want to do for the month of March. But he has already sent those to me. I would appreciate not only receiving it from the people I've talked to, you know, why? Because not like he said, what it does, it motivates you. If you don't see it, you won't do it. You know, we just got through, and I haven't got the visual word from Lifeway, but I think we qualified for the Punta Mita trip. But we had it written down. We knew who was going to hit director, who was going to hit manager, and all those points. But that was a goal to help them get there. We had to set those goals. So you have to set some goals, and we're going to talk about some goals in a minute. And then, so once I said you want to launch your business, if you have never done that before, and you're on this call, or maybe you're a brand new person, launch your business and assist. And if you've been in for a while, you want to make a goal of assisting your team members to launch. Like they might not be equipped or feel comfortable, you know, presenting, but you can be the presenter. If you don't feel comfortable presenting, raise your hand up, and maybe you could plug into some of the other launch calls we're doing. But the key is just do something, okay? So here's some suggestions. We talked about goals. So here's one goal that I'm going to do, and I hope you can agree to that. Solidify ranks within your organization. How do you do that? You go through your organization, and let's say somebody has been a manager and they're no longer ranking as a manager. What does that tell you? That if they've been manager before and they're not manager now, that means people are not placing orders or on auto ship. The way you solidify those auto ships is to plant into their mind the significance of the auto ship. Think about this. If you have a cell phone and you do not pay your bill, guess what? your cell phone's gonna be disconnected. They don't care. Unless you've made some type of arrangement, well, who got time to be calling the cell phone company every month to say, can I extend my payment 2 or 3 days? I remember having to do that years and years ago when I was completely, had no money. But auto ship solidifies your points. I literally have seen people and they cried when they had lost something like, excuse me, 200 some thousand points because they did not do their auto ship. Y'all, auto ship is the lifeblood of your business. So if they're not on auto ship, take some time to try to explain to them, like, here's another way to look at the auto ship. It's amazing. And somebody told me this other day, a person had been on, had high blood pressure medication. But in 2 months, within the last couple of months, they had no symptoms of high blood pressure. You know what they said? Oh, I need to call my doctor and tell him I ran out of high blood pressure medication. I need to get another subscription. Why would you ask your doctor to write another prescription when the X39 already got you off the patches? I mean, it got you off of the medication. So in other words, you need the patches, and so you don't want to stop using it. So that's another reason you explain to people and remind them of what has happened to them and why they need to continue living the lifestyle, and tell some other people so maybe they can get theirs free, which leads me to the next goal that you might want to set. Patch more people. The more people you patch, you already know they're going to get some results, is going to increase your enrollments, because that's one goal you want to do. And you may say, well, I want to enroll four people this month. That's only one a week, but you've got to do something to create those enrollments. You either got to be out there talking to people some kind of way, and or patching people and following it up. But you also may want to consider not just brand partners, you may want to consider preferred customers. For those people who may feel like your money's kind of funny, do you know that if you had 5 preferred customers, remember they're paying that $20 annual fee, and there's another way that you could do without the annual fee, but either way, when they get one sleeve of X39, that's 43 points. 5 people is 200 and something points. Do you realize that's enough? First of all, for even if you did not run your auto ship, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to do it if you're going to stay on the patches, but that's enough to qualify you as a manager above without even having a place to order yourself. If anything were to happen where you couldn't do your auto ship, you got the points because you got those preferred customers. But let me tell you what else happens. Every month, when those preferred customers run their order, the company pays you $20. So that's 100. If you had 5 of them, that's $100 right there. That's enough to cover one sleeve for you. And then on top of that, so now you're getting your sleeve for free, but you're getting another 100, because you're getting that $100. But it also counts as your volume. Okay. For those of you, I'm not saying that I'm not encouraging you not to do your auto ship. I'm just saying, for some reason, if some of your mindset is that, oh, I don't want to pay this, whatever reason, get those 5 customers in place. Only thing is they got to stay active. Revisit the existing partners to increase launch calls. So the people that are on your call, like I've had people like this past week hit manager, but guess what? I've told them, we got to do you a launch call. We're going to do you a launch call. These people hit manager without even doing a launch call, but we got to do you a launch call. Okay. But even people who may have, they may just be in your business and they haven't done a launch, they haven't, so they haven't pulled their people together to create that launch call. And maybe people within their team, they can all come together and promote the regional event. That's a goal I want to encourage all of us to do, to get commitments within your team. See, I can't reach all these thousands of people, that we have on our team, but you can reach down. See, when you have your team in place at this event, you're already guaranteed that when you come back home, your business is gonna grow. It's gonna increase. It's gonna explode in some cases. People walked away from last year's regional excited, and we're going to pour so much into this year. Trust me, it's going to be very, very exciting, and it's only $69. So what I want to do now, because we're not going to spend much more time on this call, because I always like to leave time on the call for comments or questions, but I want to congratulate some people. Now there's more out there, and because I don't know who all of them are, but these are the people that I know about, that I've been having the opportunity to work alongside. The first person I want to recognize and Mr. Fred Washington out of Liberty somewhere, Ohio. But Fred Washington Sr., this man showed up and showed out. He was very, much a team player because he was, like I said, he hit manager. He hit manager. I'm so proud of him. Mr. Branham Cole. Mr. Branham Cole, thank you so much for your hard work, and I want to recognize him out of the Kansas City area. Congratulations, Branham. Mr. Jeffrey Cheeks, who's also out of Kansas City. Congratulations, that's one of our newest team members. He did his launch call very quickly after he got started, and so he signed up some premiums and stuff. I mean, he's really sharp. He'd probably be director really, really soon. Miss Constance Stanley, she's out of that Florida area, Miami area, somewhere, Fort Lauderdale in that area. And she is a police chief, or her sister is, I don't know if she's on the call because she has to get up at 4:30 in the morning. But Constance Stanley, congratulations. Mr. Quentin Gardner, up in the Illinois area, congratulations to all of those people. And I'm going to allow you all, if you have some people that you want to recognize at the end. And then I also want to congratulate some of our newest directors, Mr. Jewell and his wife, Alexa Strother. I mean, this couple is no joke. They've had a whole lot of things that they could make excuses of, including 5 surgeries within the last 3 months between him and his wife. She had 2 surgeries. Their 4-year-old son had 2 surgeries, and he just had another surgery this past Friday. 5 surgeries within your immediate family, but yet he went director. And so congratulations, he just went director last week. Miss Inga Finley, my running buddy out of Atlanta, just hit director. So proud of you, Inga. And then last but not least, Mr. Derek Hawkins. But what I want to do, I'm going to let Derek come on in a moment, because I know he has some other directors that he's going to identify. And then, but the last person I want to congratulate, as far as I know of, as a senior director, is Miss Linda Giles. That's the one that I told you she's probably not on this call because she has to be up. She's had all these conference calls all evening with her job. She has to be up at 4:30 because she has international accounts and stuff. This lady does not make excuses. I'm so proud of Linda. She produced 2. Well, she already had 1 director, and she created another director and some managers this past week. So congratulations, Linda. So what I want to do before I go any further, I made you a co-host, Derek. I know Derek has some people that he wanted to, Derek Hawkins, who hit director out of the New Jersey area. Could you tell us who on your team? You can share your screen if you wanted to.
Yes, I will. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can, and I can see you.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen because I'm going to recognize these people in fashion. These individuals, again, are some phenomenal leaders. We meet on a weekly basis, so many of them are on the call. Some of them may not be on the call, but I just wanted to recognize them. So I put together a 2-minute slide, just recognize them. So if you can bear with me, let me play this 2-minute slideshow that's going to recognize them by name and location. So these are my leaders. These are the future leaders. These are SBDs in training. Let me go and get started.
All these technical people here.
Can you hear?
I can hear you. Oh, your slide has a volume to it?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to make sure you hit sound, share
Okay.
sound. And when you click on the share screen, there's a place to hit share sound.
Well, if they can't hear, they can see it on.
Okay. You can tell us who it is.
Dr. Stroman? Well, their names are there, so I'll just let it play.
Yes, Miss Gloria Harrison. Congratulations, Gloria. Miss Angela Vet Williams Hawkins. Congratulations, hitting manager. Yeah, Mr. Michael Huggins. Congratulations, Michael, hitting manager out of Jamestown, North Carolina. Miss Gloria Spigner. Go ahead, Gloria, hitting manager. Oh, I finally hear some music. Wow. You've been doing some work. Pastor Joseph Michelangelo Williams, Dover, Delaware. Dr. Ernie Penza. Oh, right. Is that it?
That's the last slide.
All righty.
Wanted to remind people that was photos from the event that we had in Atlanta. So a lot of my team members are already registered for it. So you definitely want to get to that event. It's going to help boost your business. And I just want to give a special recognition to, you saw Michael Huggins. Michael Huggins is legally blind. So for those of you who don't think you can do this, you know, there's a lot of people that have challenges and they still making it happen. So I just want to give him a special recognition for hanging in there. He's really on fire right now. He just enrolled. In fact, about 10 minutes before the call started, we were enrolling another brand partner for him. So he'll be hitting the rank of director fairly soon as well. So I just want to congratulate all those who are
Wow.
on and those other managers out there. Back to you, Vandita. Thanks for allowing me to share that.
Well, Derek, congratulations. It's so obvious that you have really been working hard with your team. I know you do your calls every week and training, so congratulations to you for all your efforts. And you know, Derek is such a humble person. I just happened to look in the back office and saw he had hit director. He didn't even tell anybody. So congratulations, Derek. I know you do a whole lot of things out there in the community, you and your wife. So thank you for all that you do. Does anybody else have anyone they need to recognize? I don't want to overlook anyone. Anybody else have anyone they want to share in any promotions? Okay, so with that being the case, you know, Derek kind of hinted or kind of talked about it, but where is it? We are you know, going to preparing for this event in Atlanta. You guys, you do not want to miss this. This is one of the bullet points I put on there to promote and get some commitments from your team. I think who was I spoke to the other day, they said they already had 20 people. I don't even remember who it was I was talking to. They got 20 people on their team who's coming to Atlanta. I don't even remember, but that's impressive. Okay, that's impressive. And so, you know, they say if you come by yourself, you're gonna learn a lot, but if you come with your team, you're gonna earn a lot. Does anybody have any questions, you know, on the call that we didn't cover? I'd be glad to address any questions, or if anybody want to quickly see the Power of Six, if there's somebody that hasn't ever seen it and I want to share it with you, please speak up. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
I
know
would
that
like
there's
to see
some, just wanted to mention a reward. There's some contests or rewards for people for the for Atlanta, that, you know, the 20 customers and some of those other things. Could you share that with them?
Yes, as one of the and I don't have the flyer pulled up, but there's a incentive that we put out there that if you are one of the people that gather 20 preferred customers between now and you know, all the way to the event in Atlanta, you're not only going to get a free sleeve of X39, but you're also going to get a special prize of recognition. That's one thing. And then we want everybody to do manager again. You know, I've already done, me and her since last Sunday, we've already done manager again. We've already enrolled like 5 or 6 people since Sunday. And that just let me know I can do it, because I wasn't enrolling people that fast. Not normally, but that lets me know I can do it if I want to. But you just have to see, you gotta take authority with this business and tell people like I call one of my contractors. I'm just gonna give you an example of how I was operating this past week. And I said, listen, Tony, you know, because he had told me about his wife. She had these swollen, you know, ankles, and he said it was nothing. And I told him a long time ago, you should try them. I gave him some patches. He never did come. I said, Tony, remember those patches I told you about? You need to order some. You can need to order right now. I said, you just got to do it. And because I was trying to get my points in for the convention, for the trip, that's number one. And I said, well, give me your credit card. He made a lot of money on me, okay? So I need to make something on him. So he signed up, you know. Then another contractor did all this stone work around our house and stucco work. Oh my God, I can't tell you how much money we spent with that man. And I told him the same thing. So you got it, but I told him why. I told him it wasn't about him doing me a favor. I'm saying you are always complaining about how tired you are. And you gotta, in other words, be confident about what you have, you guys. We got it. Remember, we talked about it, the sizzle, the steak, the smoke, and the secret sauce. But just do that and you can enroll some people. Anybody else on here wanna, oh yeah, somebody said they want to see the Power Six, right? Let me see if I have it up. Let me pull that up. Let me just pull that up. Thought I would have had that. Let me. So y'all already know the Power Six is basically, like I said, it's a mindset, but it is a strategy. It is a strategy. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now we go back to my Zoom and pull that up. Share. See, when you're calling people, you're letting them know, that you have something special in your hands, but I don't have time to go through all that. I just want to go through the Power Six. So you might have to familiarize yourself with the comp plan a little bit if you're new, but basically you can go all the way to the top of this company as long as you have 6 people on your front line. 3 of them need to be on your left and 3 on your right. I'm not saying you only enroll 6. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you want 6 solid. Remember, we talked about solidifying your business. You want 6 partners that you never have to worry about them doing their authorship. You never have to worry about them qualifying as a director, because the mindset is to get 6 directors. So if you get these 6 people, and every month, if they're ordering 2 sleeves of X39, that's going to end up 924 points. Okay. This is only residual. This has nothing to do with the package they enroll with or nothing. Those 6 people, you want to position them to be director. That means they got to think future. They got to think 6. Those 6 people getting their 6, that's 36 on your second level. That's 5,544 points just on your second level alone. Those 36 people, everybody's doing the same thing, focusing on getting to director. Now you got 36 directors, because guess what? They're going to get 6 people. There's going to be 216 people on your third level that are doing the 2 sleeves a month. By the time you get to the 4th level, you got 1,296 people on the 4th level. But what happens on this 5th level? This is where you start maxing out the binary. See, we can earn up to $25,000 per week just in the binary. And these numbers here is kind of variable, because see, depending on where you fall in the binary, if you've been in for a long time, you might be like a Erica McQueen with 27 million points on her right side. She'll never catch up with that. I mean, because that's that leg that Steve Merritt and all those SPDs are building in. I mean, don't worry about it. Be thankful you got it. But you can, so if you have that situation, that's why I say $45,350 on one side of the binary. But if you in one of those kind of strong power legs, you might make the whole 90,000. But because this is the part I want you to catch, because everybody try to hold on to all these numbers. This number right here, for example, 7,776. Everybody's not going to place their authorship the first in a week, right? Everybody's not going to play. All these 7,000 people are not going to place their authorship in the same week. So guess what? If there's 90,000 max that you can make, if all these people, place their authorship, they're not gonna. That means that you can make 25,000 one week, 25,000 another week, another 25,000 a third week, and 4th week. So now, in other words, instead of this being 25,000, this would literally be $90,000, because you don't have to worry about saying I need 660 from this side and 330 on the other. So do you understand why I have that range there? If you're one of those people that you've fallen somebody's inside leg and then another inside leg, like some of the people on this call, you may not see a strong power leg like that. So what you're going to do is count on this strategy I'm going with now. Get you 3 on your left, 3 on your right. Help them get their 6. Each one of them got to get 6. Now both sides are growing at the same time. And it's going to vary. Now the 4, 6 level, look at it, another 25,000 maxed out. But look at this. What's going to happen when you max this out? It may not happen in 6 months. It may not happen in a year. What we're trying to get people to do is accelerate their business and focus on getting 6 people that they can always count on. There are certain people that I have on my front line that I don't even have to think about it. I already know they're going to at least do 110 points, and most of them are doing 2 sleeves a month. I don't even have to think about it. I know that. And some of you are in the same situation. So when that happens and it just keep duplicating, just 6 levels, only 6 levels, just say that you maxed out your binary commissions, as we said, 25,000. But see those people that's on your 5th level, I showed you in that chart, the people that you personally enroll, they have people on their 5th level that making them max out at the 25,000. So now you got 6 partners that you're getting 25% of that 25,000. That's $6,250 times 6 is 37.5. That's where I'm getting that number from. Then the people that are on your 2nd level, they're maxing out the binary too. Ultimately, there's plenty of people in Steve Merritt's team that is maxing out the binary, y'all. I'm not making this stuff up. 20% of 25,000 is 5,000 times 36 partners is 180,000. And then the same thing on the 3rd level, maxing out at 216 partners. That's $1 million just on the 3rd level matching bonus. So listen, we talking about $5 million a month. Just by the time you add the binary commissions and match. I did this so that you could see there is a lot of money in the comp plan. This is why we can't play with this. This is not a joke. This is not a game. This is real money. The company's about to hit $1 billion, and they're paying everybody like clockwork every single week. The money is there, you guys. We are the fastest growing company in the world in network marketing. What if you only succeeded by 50%? You're still making $661,000 a week. Because this right here is weekly, this right here is monthly, but 600. What if you only succeeded by 10%? That's impossible. Why? Because if you succeeded by 10%, that means you only got 1 person on your 1st level, and then on your 2nd level, you only got maybe what was it? It was 636. You only got 3 people on your 2nd. Do you see why that's impossible? That's why I'm saying once this thing goes down 6 levels, Bishop Jackson is on my 11th level. You see what I'm saying? There's as you keep growing, your team is going to expand, and you don't have to do this is about duplication. You don't have to go enroll 100 people. There are people on our team that have done that, but you don't have to do that. What you got to do is focus in on who wants it, and focus in that you only need 6 people. 6 people to focus on those 6 people, and they go focus on 6 people, and they go focus on 6 people. That's all we're talking about, you guys. So with that being the case, I want to thank you all for joining the call. This is recorded, and we will send out that recording. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and let's go March Madness. Go get your team engaged and get them to the event in April, you guys. Let's do those launch calls. Let's enroll some people. I'm ready. I hope you all are as well. Have a good evening, and we'll talk to you soon.